Hello dear students, today we are going to study together the past simple tense. By the end of the lesson you will be able to use the verb regular and irregular in the past simple tense, negate a sentence in the past simple tense, form a question in the past simple tense, and learn some time expressions to help us identify the past simple tense in a sentence. Let's take a look at this example first. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was an Austrian musician and composer. He used to make music. He lived from 1756 to 1791. He started composing at the age of 5 and wrote more than 600 pieces of music. He was only 35 old when he died. Can you see the words in bold in this example? What do they have in common? Yes, they are all in the past simple tense. Do they have any connection with the present? No. How can you tell? Because Mozart is long dead. Now, let's move on to the usages of the past simple. Usage number 1. We use the past simple to talk about actions that happened before now. For example, he was a baby. Is he a baby now? No. Was he in the past? Yes. He drank milk before sleeping. Is the action in the past? Yes. Is the action finished? Yes. Is there any connection with the present? No. Do we know when it happened? Yes, before sleeping. He walked slowly to the bed. Is he walking now? No. Is the action finished? Yes. Why? Because it's in the past. It has no connection with the present. Usage number 2. We use the past simple to talk about actions that started and finished in the past. For example, he missed the train this morning, but he is at work right now. The action here, the action of missing the train is finished. It's ancient history now. We had our breakfast early this morning. Did we finish eating our breakfast? Yes. Are we still eating? No. When did the action happen? Early this morning. She did her English homework yesterday. Is she still doing her English homework? No. Did she finish it? Yes, she finished it. When? Yesterday. Usage number 3. We use the past simple to describe habits which stopped in the present and to describe past facts which are no longer true. For example, she was shy, but she is very outgoing now. Is she shy now? No. Did she used to be shy in the past? Yes. Did she stop being shy? Yes, she's very outgoing now. She didn't like tomatoes before. The key word here is what it is before. Did she like tomatoes before? No. Does she like them now? Yes. He lived in Texas when he was a kid. Does he live in Texas now? No. Did he live in Texas in the past? Yes. When? When he was a kid. Now, let's move on to the form of the past simple. How do we form the past simple? We add d or ed or ied to the verb if the verb is a regular verb. If not, irregular verbs have certain conjugations that you have to study by heart. We make regular past simple verbs by adding ed to the base form. For example, walk becomes walked, play, played. We add d for verbs that already end in e. For example, like, it ends with e, becomes liked. I only add d. Move, it ends with E. I only add D, becomes moved. We double the consonants if the base form ends in a single vowel plus single consonant. For example, plan, planned, we double the N. Stop, stopped, we double the P. Exceptions are consonants W, X, and Y. For example, to sew clothes becomes sewed. Box, boxed. Play, played. We also double the consonant in two-syllable verbs if the base form ends in a single vowel plus single consonant and the stress is on the second syllable. For example, regret becomes regretted. Prefer, preferred. The stress here is on the second syllable. Also, we double the consonant if the base form has two syllables and ends with L. For example, travel becomes traveled, we double the L. We change the Y to I for some verbs that end in consonants. Y, for example, try becomes tried. The Y was changed into an I, tried. Fry to fry, for example, chicken becomes fried. We also add K to a base form ending in C. For example, the verb panic, it ends with C, so we add the letter K, panic, P-A-N-I-C-K, and then plus the ending of the past, ed. Let's check these examples together of regular verbs. Dad fixed his computer last night. Jack phoned Tom yesterday, but he wasn't at home. They studied, because here the verb study ends with Y, becomes IED, studied hard for their exam. The train stopped, here we double the P, stopped at the station on time. Okay, the ED ending can be pronounced in three different ways. What are they? Id, or tah sound, or dah sound. Id sound as in wanted, waited, waded after D or T, because the verb want ends with T. The verb wade ends with a dah sound. We also pronounce the ed ending as tah sound as in walked, washed, cuffed, flicked after fah sound, F, K, P, S, sah sound, shah sound as in washed, SH, or chah sound. The final pronunciation of the ed ending is dah sound as in stirred, fired, signed, closed after all other sounds. As for irregular verbs, they have different and unpredictable forms. They need to be learned individually. Many verbs have irregular past simple forms and are used in the same way as the regular ones. For example, I took a taxi to the airport. Take, took. That was when we spoke. Speak, spoke. Emmy gave me his last bar of chocolate. Give, gave. Please study the irregular verbs at the very end of the booklet by heart, column by column, whenever you're asked to. Now, how to negate verbs in the past simple? We make past simple negative sentences using didn't or did not. Regular and irregular verbs both have the same form. For example, I was in Rome. Was is the past of verb to be. They were busy yesterday. Were is also the past of verb to be, but here we used were because it comes with the pronoun, the subject pronoun they, plural. Rola had a new haircut. Had is the past of have. We did our best to win the race. Did is the past of do. You were elegant at the party. Were is also the past of verb to be. Now, how to form a question in the past simple tense. We make past simple questions using did. Regular and irregular verbs both have the same form. For example, I didn't want to go to the dentist. She didn't have time. You didn't close the door. He didn't come to my party. They didn't study, so they didn't pass the test. We didn't sleep well last night. Now, how to form a question in past simple tense. We have two types of questions, WH questions and yes or no questions. In question form, we use did plus base form. In short answers, we use did. We don't use the main verb. For example, did you know Jane in middle school? To answer in the affirmative, we say, yes, I did. To answer in the negative, we say, no, I didn't. Were you home yesterday? To answer in the affirmative, we say, yes, I was. To answer in the negative, we say, no, I wasn't. What did you do last Friday? This is a WH question. I helped my mom cooking tasty cakes and visited my grandma. Time expressions. Past tense time expressions are words or phrases in sentences that indicate when the action occurred, when the action happened. For example, yesterday, yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening, last night, last. It can be a day, month, or a year. For example, last Monday, last October, last year, ago, once upon a time, in 1999, or in 1990, in plus a year, or in the past. For example, the time expression ago, it tells us about the period of time between two times, now and an earlier time. We are looking back from the present and measuring how much time there was between now and the time in the past when something happened. It is used to say how far back in the past something happened. For example, I started my job 2 months ago. Year ago is used to say how far back in the past something happened. Here it says 2 months ago. Also, we have the time expression until. We use until to state when an event or state finished. For example, she sat on the bottom step until she got cold, or we waited until he left. We also have the time expression for. We use for to say how long a past event or state lasted. For example, he studied theology in Vienna for 3 years. Now let's do some practice together. Rewrite using the words in brackets. 1. My mom baked cookies for the party. Between brackets, not. To negate this sentence, we use did not plus base form. My mom did not, my mom didn't bake cookies for the party. 2. They are swimming in the pool right now, between brackets, 2 hours ago. Ago is one of the time expressions of the past simple. It is used to say how far back in the past something happened. So the answer is they were swimming in the pool 2 hours ago. 3. He is writing an email to his pen friend at the moment, between brackets, yesterday. He wrote, because write is an irregular verb, he wrote an email to his pen friend yesterday. Yesterday is one of the time expressions of the past simple. Okay, 4. They went to the hospital last Sunday. Between brackets, when. Last is one of the time expressions of the past simple. Okay, now to form a question, here we have which type of question? A WH question or a yes or no question? It's a WH question because of the question word when. With WH questions, the word order is as follows. The question word, it can be where, why, who, when. It depends on the question. Plus did or didn't, plus subject, plus base form. So the answer is, when did they go to the hospital? They went to the hospital last Sunday. Correct the verbs in brackets. 1. Rami played video games with his friends last night. Rami played. Here we added ed to the regular verb play, and the ed ending is pronounced da. Played, played, played. 2. Jack not do his homework an hour ago. Jack did not, he didn't. Here, to negate a sentence or a verb in the past simple, we use did not. 3. You make your bed this morning. Here we have a question. Is it a yes or no question or a WH question? It is a yes or no question because it begins with the auxiliary. It begins with the word did. It begins with the word did. 4. He washed the dishes yesterday. He washed the dishes yesterday. Here we added ed to a regular verb. The ed ending is pronounced t. We say washed because it comes after the sh sound in, the sh sound, which is represented by sh. Washed. 5. Where they go last Friday? To the zoo. Here we have a WH question. In a WH question, the word order is as follows. The question word plus did or didn't plus subject plus place plus base form. So the answer is, where did you go last Friday? Okay, 6. I buy some groceries when I be at the market. I bought. Buy is an irregular verb and the past of buy is bought. I bought some groceries when I was at the market. Verb to be in the past with the subject pronoun I becomes was. Thank you for watching. Bye.